Liza, look at this.
Oh.
I don't know, where does it go?
Over here.
Man, I'll tell you, whoever broke in here doesn't get any points for neatness. Not that burglars ever do.
You said it was a burglar. They didn't take anything. Dang, there are all kinds of valuable objects around here. They're art, the silver. They didn't touch my jewelry.
Liza doesn't think it was a thief who was here last night.
Well, what then? What'd the cops say?
They said that just because nothing was stolen doesn't prove that a robbery wasn't attempted. The intruder could have just been getting started when Liza and I came home. Got scared off before he had a chance to take anything.
Makes sense to me. Why does it make sense to you, Liza?
No. No, whoever did this was more interested in information than they were in valuables. Look at this place. And you know they didn't even touch the bedroom? Now, you tell me, what kind of burglar breaks into a house and doesn't go straight to the bedroom where the money, the jewelry's supposed to be?
Whoa, 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 no, wait, no. What kind of information?
Liza thinks it has to do with Sunburst.
I see. Liza, what kind of information are they going to get on Sunburst here, huh? I mean, even if Travis brings work home, he's not going to leave top-secret data lying around on the coffee table.
All right, all right. You don't think it's possible. Rusty doesn't think it's possible. Well, I do. I think that's exactly what happened. I just wish the two of you would stop pretending it's out of the question.
This is Search for Tomorrow.
Accuse me of jumping to conclusions. It makes perfect sense. I mean, if someone broke into this house to search it instead of steal from it, they'd be searching for material related to Sunburst.
But we don't know that it was just a search. I still think it was a robbery that never got off the ground.
Why? Because they didn't have time? Well, they had plenty of time to turn this room upside down. And how about your study? Now, that's where you keep all your papers. I have never seen a room more picked over than that one.
I'm sorry, I still vote robbery. Liza, theft is way up now, especially in classy neighborhoods like this.
Yeah, well, all I can think about is what happened last year. Do you remember that? Before we even moved here, we were in our other home, and we'd been robbed, we thought. Turned out later that someone had been murdered in our very own home.
Liza, that was an isolated incident. I mean, the chances of that happening
are about as great as me being spirited away like in Hong Kong, like in Europe. It happened. It's going to happen again. It's because of who you are. Your position, Rusty, you're in a very powerful position. You have secrets people want.
Look, I don't suppose it would do me any good to remind you that the people who are trying to stop Sunburst are either dead, locked up, or gone underground.
And security is tighter than ever. This time, we'd spot him a mile away, Liza.
Look, you know, the agency is still very concerned with this. They're very concerned with any terrorist activities, especially any that might affect Sunburst. Believe me, if there were, I'd be the first to know.
I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I am terrified. I'm not going to let it get the best of me this time, though.
Hey, look. What you need is our trip to New York, huh? Look, by the time we get back from New York, all this mess here will be forgotten.
I couldn't agree more, Liza.
I am not going to New York. I wouldn't be able to think of anything else but this. I couldn't work. Couldn't even begin to work. My place is here until we find out what happened.
Liza, please.
If you will excuse me now, I think I'll go into this study. We haven't even begun to sort out that confusion.
I want to compliment you on a job well done, Ringo.
Well, I tried to make it look like I was after something.
You succeeded.
I hope I didn't overdo it. It's easy to get carried away when you're tearing a place apart. Speaking of which, that's some place they got there with the view and the terrace and the...
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Now that we've accomplished the first step, let's consider the second, huh?
Oh, I didn't realize there was a second step.
Well, of course. One break-in isn't going to achieve the results I'm looking for.
What results? I mean, you get somebody to break into your son's place, It doesn't happen every day. What's the matter? Is there bad blood between you two?
No, no, it's nothing like that. In fact, I respect my son enormously. It's just that he's encumbered at the moment. He's being held back by someone who's very close to him. I want to put an end to it.
I'm sorry. I'm lost.
Ringo, it wouldn't interest you anyway. So let's talk about the second step, shall we?
Another break-in?
No, no, no. It's very simple. For this, you won't even have to leave this room.
Get lost.
A few words for the man who's been
Get
calling
outta
himself my
here.
brother's best friend.
If I knew it was you, I never would open the door.
Who did you think it was? Somebody from Congress to give you a Medal of Honor or something for bravery? I mean, your story must have reached Washington by now, right, Ringo? How you tried so hard to save your friends who were pinned under the wreckage. Then at the last minute, you had to escape the fumes, right? Oh, overridden by guilt, of course. Ringo, we were all so touched. I mean, you just don't hear stories of such courage very often. I knew you were a liar all along. I knew it.
All right. All right. You're right. I did get out before the others. But I swear I thought that plane was going to blow up. I could smell fuel leaking all over the place.
If you had any concern for anybody else in that plane, you wouldn't have even noticed it.
When was the last time you were in a plane crash, huh?
Let me go.
When?
Look, you don't have to be in a plane crash to know how a decent person would react.
Let me tell you something. The instinct for survival takes over. Did you ever hear the expression, every man for himself? Well, it's the truth. It's the natural thing to do.
If it was the natural thing to do, then why did you lie about what really happened?
Oh, I guess you would have stayed inside the plane, huh? With the smell of hot metal and airplane fumes, gas fumes all over the place. I guess you would have torn your designer blouse into shreds for bandages, huh? Don't give me that. Don't give me that saintly stuff.
I never said I was a saint. But I don't think you have to be a saint to want to help somebody who's been your friend. Where would you be without Warren, huh? You'd probably be busting heads for some loan shark at $50 a throw. You owe Warren for everything that you are. And how do you thank him? You thank him just by leaving him in the jungle to die.
He didn't die. He made it. So don't try to hang any murder rap on me.
Well, the intent was there. Don't kid yourself. I really wish that they could string you up. I really do.
Look, I told you to get out. Now you better do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Or what? What are you gonna do, huh? Take another swing at me? That was real choice behavior the other day. And I can't wait to tell Warren about it.
Shut up!
You're a little nervous, aren't you, Ringo? A little nervous about seeing Warren again? Well, I would be, too. Because you just don't know what he's gonna do to settle this score, do you?
Hi.
Hi.
You look wonderful today. You must be feeling better.
Yeah, thanks, I am.
Where's Brian?
The doctor's examining him. We think I look a lot better today. You should see Brian. He's sitting up, he's walking around.
It's incredible. I'm glad for him. You believe that, don't you?
I don't know.
It's true, Susie. After all the time we spent together, how could I not respect him for at least the way he tried to fight through, save his life? If anybody deserved to make it, he did. Of course, I still have my differences with him, but...
Well, I wouldn't suppose that you would ever forgive him for giving you away about the guns.
No, Susie, actually, I can understand why he wanted you to know about them. Oh, he was ready to just nail me as some sort of hardened criminal just so he could get you back on his side. The thing I don't understand is, Why were you so quick to go along with it all?
To go along with it? Warren, he was only telling the truth. What am I supposed to do, ignore that?
No, of course not, but... Susie, you act as if I've been doing this all my life. You refuse to believe the fact that this was the one time I let myself get talked into something so stupid.
I don't think you can blame me for not believing that, Warren.
Why do you convict me so quickly?
Because you lied about it so often. Over and over again. Even when we were with Miguel and our very lives were at stake, Warren. And you just kept lying about it. You couldn't have kept up a lie like that unless you were afraid of something.
Of course I was afraid of something. I was afraid of losing you. That's why I didn't want to tell you. Susie, I was ashamed that I had ever gotten involved with something like that. And I just couldn't deal with the fact that you would find out about it.
No. No. You were afraid that I would put two and two together and realize that all these business deals that you've always been so vague about were jobs exactly like this one.
No. That is where you're wrong. The only reason that I took this deal was so that I could finally end my business career with enough money that I could go to Henderson and just start enjoying life a little bit. With you, just like I said.
I was a novelty to you, Warren. You had never met anybody like me before. But you would have gotten tired of me. You would have been bored of me. I know that now.
You don't know anything of the kind.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You dazzled me, and you charmed me, and I was always a little bit in awe of you. You made me feel like a little girl sometimes. Like I didn't really know what was going on. And I didn't, did I? I never really knew you.
Oh, no. I'll tell you something. You know me better than anybody else has ever known me. Come on, Susie. What we had together wasn't all just whining and dining. The best part of what we had was the two of us just talking, or picnics, or taking walks. All that wonderful
Warren,
basic stuff.
Stop it! Come on, I know you're not used to losing, but just admit that this is over. It's over. Yeah, I was infatuated with you. I was charmed by your style. But that died pretty quickly when I realized how much you lied to me all
Look,
along.
I know you're upset and you're hurt, and believe me, I hate myself for ever making you feel this way, but look, Susie, this is going to pass in time. When we get back to Henderson...
When we get back to Henderson, I don't ever want to see you again. I'm sorry, Warren, but that's it.
Travis, are you absolutely sure that nothing was taken?
Not one thing was missing. The police feel that whoever broke in simply didn't have time to complete the job. And when Liza and I came home, it certainly did look like whoever was there had left in a mighty big hurry. I just wish that we had gotten there a few minutes earlier.
That must have been such a shock to have had an evening out and come back to find... Liza must have been frightened to death.
Oh, yeah, she was frightened. But she was also amazingly calm, especially considering the fact that she doesn't think this was a robbery at all.
Well, what exactly does she think it was?
She thinks that whoever broke in was looking for information about Sunburst, that the whole thread is starting all over again.
Travis, look. Isn't it possible that this reaction is just an extension of the fear she's felt ever since we came back from Europe?
Hush, I don't think you understand. She was really beginning to put this whole thing behind her.
True.
Now, you do know that she was about to take the trip to New York with Dane.
Yes.
She was excited about getting her career off the ground again. And now she's postponed the trip. I just hope she doesn't cancel it altogether.
Now, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that she is now afraid to even leave the house?
No, it's not just that. She feels she can't leave town with everything up in the air, that if indeed there is a threat to Sunburst, her place is here.
Well, I'd say that that was very courageous.
Oh, yes, it is that. But I don't want her to be courageous right now. I'd like her to forget this whole thing. I'd like her to think of herself for a change.
Then, Travis, isn't it just possible that she could be right? Isn't it possible that someone could be launching another attack against Sunburst?
Absolutely not. Dane Taylor and I both did some checking. And our best intelligence shows that there was no evidence of a threat.
That's true, Aja. The last time I spoke to Dane, he did say the agency was on top of the whole thing.
I see you've told Aja about the unfortunate happenings of last night.
Yeah.
It's a shame. A crime on the increase in a small town like this.
So, then, you are also convinced that it was attempted robbery?
No question. The intruder was surprised by the return of Travis and Liza and was scared off.
I just wish we could convince Liza of that.
Yes. Unfortunately, it seems unduly difficult to convince Liza of anything these days. And I hate to say it, Travis, but Liza is ruled by fear. It's almost as though she were driven to look on the dark side.
Hello? 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 Who is this? I said, who is this? Answer me!
Okay, Rusty. Call number 1. Guess you know what you're doing.
Even with my lungs, there's no fluid in my lungs, and my spleen, it was messed up. It's all better now, too. And then they got my test results back. No permanent damage.
Oh, terrific. I knew when I saw you this morning that you had turned a very important corner last night. You really look like yourself again.
I was telling Susie that I'm really amazed you've come along so well. You had it tougher than any of us. You certainly hung in there.
Thank you, Warren. Coming from you, that's really nice.
Buenas tardes. Oh, you didn't expect to see me so soon, I suppose?
No. Oh, do you have any word about home?
I have even better than that. I have a probable itinerary for your departure.
Departure? Wait a second, man. You told me we're getting out of here?
Doctor tells me you're doing extraordinarily well, Mr. Emerson. He says you should be well enough to travel by the end of the week.
But I thought there was some sort of problem with us getting out of the country.
We have pulled some strings, as you say. It is very likely we should be able to get you out by Friday.
Friday?
Oh, last-minute applications, and I can't promise you there won't be any.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, we're going home? We're going to be home on Friday night.
That's the best news I've ever heard.
Darling, just try to ignore it. I just don't think it's what you... Yes, I know that it's very disturbing when something like this happens, but I don't think there's anything for us to really worry about. Yes, of course. Of course, I'll come home as soon as I can. Why does it have to happen today? Someone keeps calling, and every time Liza picks up the phone, no one says anything. It's driving her crazy, and I don't blame her.
It's probably nothing more than a crank with nothing better to do.
Yes, some child being mischievous. Kids love to do that sort of thing. Travis, you should just tell her to take the phone off the hook and forget it.
It's not very easy to forget, Aja, considering what happened last night.
You don't mean to tell me that she's making some connection between last night and these calls?
I'm afraid she is. I'm sorry, Aja, but I'm going to have to go home and spend a little time with her. We're going to have to postpone the stabilizing series until I get back.
No, of course I understand. I'll just wait to hear from you.
I'll try not to be too long. I'll speak to you both later.
Travis? When's he gonna learn that that woman brings him nothing but trouble?
Rusty, are you absolutely sure that what happened last night has nothing to do with Sunburst whatsoever?
I'm absolutely certain.
Doesn't it seem just a bit strange that, the break-in last night, then suddenly all these phone calls today, don't you think?
Well, life is full of coincidence.
Yeah, but it's a bit much of a coincidence that this is all happening just as Travis and Liza were beginning to solve all of their problems.
Well, I could have told you that any reconciliation would have only been temporary. Well, Liza is just too unstable.
Then you don't see Liza in the least bit victimized by all this. I mean, an awful lot has happened to her in the last couple of days. I don't know, Rusty. I just, for some reason, see someone, it looks like someone is out to get her. You know, not Travis, not this project, not anything else. Just Liza.
Aja, what are you driving at?
Just that I don't think you would mind one bit if this distance between Travis and Liza would begin to widen all over again.
I wouldn't lie to you. No, I wouldn't mind. And from everything you've indicated, I don't think you would mind either. Would you, Aja?